Good morning. It's just after 7:15 Saturday morning, and I parked up at Longshore car park for today's adventure. Already dog walkers. Yeah, and the view is amazing already. And I'm heading to somewhere called Padley Gorge via Alfreton, I think it was called. And already I'm loving this. So I think I'm going up there eventually, but first I'm going down there. The last video was obviously Scafell, and being totally honest, it took me a whole week to recover from that one. So hopefully today will be a little easier, although it's still one of the hottest days of the year because we're in a stupid heat wave. But hopefully this one's going to be mostly undercover with trees, or at least that's the route I planned. But we know how my plans go. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? So I don't know how much talking I'm going to do today, because since Scafell I felt a lot freer of my emotional baggage, mental baggage. So I'm not going to jinx it by saying I'm HAPPY, but also last video I dubbed a lot quite over the top, and to be honest I enjoyed that more because it had more time to reflect on what I wanted to say, so I might do that again. Right now I'm just going to enjoy this beautiful morning, so let's go. Oh, I said it again. Can I come up with a new catchphrase? Please comment a new catchphrase below, please, because I hate let's go. It's too overused. Alonzi, there we go. But seriously, anything better than less cliche than Doctor Who, let me know. Actually, there is something I wanted to talk about. I've just paid £8 to park all day in that car park, and I was like, ouch. But then suddenly I thought, wait, not that I drink, but to get a pint these days it's talking, £5 or £6, and that lasts what, a couple of minutes? And yet I've just paid £8 and I can spend a whole day getting drunk on nature. So another funny thought I've had years ago, and I'm showing my age here. There used to be a TV show called The Grizzly Adams. I think it was called. Anyway, the character was called The Grizzly Adams, I think. Anyway, he had like a pet bear and a raccoon. And did he have a donkey? Or was it a donkey? Anyway, he lived like in a remote log cabin somewhere in the, out west of America, I believe. It's a fantasy show, but anyway, it might be based on real life. I don't know, I'm rambling. It's early in the morning. Anyway, Grizzly Adams, he lived alone, isolated, with just a bear and a raccoon for company. Like a grizzly bear, hence Grizzly Adams. And when I used to watch it, I used to think, oh, well, doesn't he get lonely? Doesn't he miss people? What about, riding push bikes and playing video games and stuff? And now I'm older, possibly the same age as the lead actor, who knows? And I'm thinking, I totally get it. I totally get just living alone away from people. So yeah, if my route planning skills are accurate, I believe I will be up top of there in about an hour or so. I'm kind of excited because I didn't expect it to be that high. Oh dear, so much for the easy leisurely walk, eh? I'm not going to lie, I found these gates kind of confusing. It's the double locking system. It's the double locking mechanism. One earlier, I opened it and opened it again for the other side. I was like, huh? I broke the gate. So, me and my amazing route planning. Well, I already made a wrong turn. Luckily, according to the maps, there's lots of like little cut through footpaths in this area. So it's not too much of a trek to get back on route. And to be honest, I don't care. It's so lovely here. I don't think there's a fence between me and them. Okay, so that was somewhat unnerving. I don't know what it's about cows, it's just the way they look at you. But wow. So much for a nice easy walk. This is having some really steep inclines which I didn't expect. And we know how I feel about inclines. Oh. Stop grumbling. You're in nature, SkeL. Enjoy it. I'm not lost, I promise. I'll be honest, ever since seeing that snake sign, I've been a bit paranoid about any hiss or rustle of the leaves I hear. Like, it's gonna be a snake. Because even though I know we get snakes here in England, I've never really thought about seeing one in the wild. I mean, sure, I've seen videos and I've seen pictures, but because I've never encountered one, and because it's probably a very rare thing to happen, well, I suppose depending on location, it's a very rare thing to happen in the locations I live and visit, I don't expect to see one. And it's not that I'm scared of snakes, more cautious, because I'm pretty sure they're pretty harmless over here. I suppose I should better educate myself on the dangers of the wild if I'm going to continue these adventures. But hey, where's the fun in that? And talking of wildlife, I don't know if you can make them out, but throughout this whole trail I've been passing these huge ants. There's like millions and millions and millions of them. At one point the whole floor was like a carpet of them. It's kind of scary, but I find lots of things scary. But the one thing I do, or give myself credit for, is most of the time I face my fears. Most of the time. And when I say I'm scared of snakes and even ants now, and nature in general, it's not really a fear of them. Well, it is. It's more, I'm out here on my own, and if something happened to me, it's going to be hours and hours and hours and potentially forever before anybody finds me. And that's what scares me. So it's important to let people know where you've gone and supposedly how long you're going for. And if I'm completely honest, I don't always do that. But I normally post a story of the car park I started at on my Instagram. At least it's something. But this bit's nice. A little steep, but it's nice. And apart from me babbling, it's very peaceful. I just had another random thought. Who put these steps here? They're not exactly natural formations, are they? So when and I suppose how did people put steps here, and more importantly, why? Why did they choose this route? You know, what's so special about this route than, I don't know, 6 foot over there, or, you know, 4 foot over there? Why did they pick this route? I don't know, rambling again. Rambling while rambling. Maybe that should be a slogan. Okay, better stop now, this is getting steep. The trail / footpath led me to the main road, and my route continued on the other side, so I had a quick jaunt across and along to make my way towards Padley Gorge. There, I made it. It's funny, sometimes I come on these walks with like an agenda, I suppose, to talk about. Or something like I desperately want to get off my chest, or feel like I need to share with the world. And then sometimes, like today, there's days where I start and I think, you know what, just enjoy the walk, and I'm just happy to be here. And don't get me wrong, I'm very happy to be here. But something just popped into my little old noggin here. I follow quite a few hikers and hiking groups on Facebook and Instagram, mainly for inspiration. In fact, totally for inspiration. By now, you might realise I'm not exactly good at socialising. Anywho, people share these beautiful locations like this one. I mean, I wouldn't have known about this had somebody not, you know, shared it online. But then sometimes I read the comments on the posts, and don't get me wrong, quite often they're all quite positive and all very happy comments, positive comments. But then sometimes, often, there's the opposite. People are like, oh no, you shouldn't share that location. You know, more people, the more you share them locations, the busier it's going to get, and the more spoiled the locations are going to get. And don't get me wrong, I get more people means more chances of things going wrong and being spoiled for other people. But I kind of sit somewhere between the 2 points, because, well, more about it in a minute, because this bit's a bit awkward. Well, I was about to say, because I reckon if people are educated better about how to interact with nature and exist with nature, coexist with nature, there should be no harm in everyone knowing where these locations are or how to get to them. Because people might be less able to access these locations, and they might want to see them, so why not share them? But on the flip side, if people don't respect nature and leave bags of dog muck on the side of the trail, which I've never understood, because dog muck's biodegradable, so just kick it to the side of the trail and leave it, or bag it up and take it home, or put it in a bin. But to bag it up and then just leave it at the side of the trail seems ridiculous to me, and annoying. But yeah, my catchphrase I keep on trying to pen is get outdoors. I think people should get outdoors and enjoy nature, because it is just stunning and relaxing and calming, and yeah. Okay, be careful, rocks are slippy. I think I could live here. I think I say that everywhere I go. I could spend hours here. Literally hours. This is perfect location for an Indiana Jones shoot. There's boulders, there's water, there's trees. It's just amazing. I just had to. This location just keeps on giving and giving. And that's twice I've nearly twisted my ankle. Guess I'm on my last life. I can think of worse places to have my breakfast. It's nearly 9 AM, so I've been walking, what, just under 2 hours. The sun's up and it's bloody warm already, so stay hydrated. I think I'm about halfway through my walk. I've just realised the second half of my walk is going to be out in the exposed landscape, for lack of a better word. So I think if I was ever to do this again, I'd probably do the walk in reverse. That way, in the shade of the morning light, I could be walking through the exposed bit, and then in the latter bit, i.e. this bit, which I've already done, would be in the shade on the way back to the car, if that makes sense. Anyway, onwards. So like the intrepid adventurer I wanted to be, I left the footpath and things got rather interesting going forward from here. in a good way, I think. So I've just come along there, and apparently we're meant to go up there. But I think if I make my way across there, and then I think it levels out that way. I hope. Otherwise I've got to go back the way I came. By this point I thought I got stuck. I never take the easy way, do I? I really loved this tree and how it was like growing over the rock. It kind of really fit in with my vibe of being symbiotic with nature, you know, coexisting. And it was really pretty. So I'm cutting a chunk out of my original walk because I'm getting knackered. I'm running out of time. So a little shorter than planned. This next bit got rather busy with people, so I'm guessing it must be like a local hotspot. I changed my mind. I'm here now, might never come back. So onwards. So yeah, I changed my mind. Took a 5-minute break, topped up on my sunscreen, which was nice and cooling because it's one of those spray-on ones. Topped up on fluids, because I always forget to drink, don't know why. And just took a moment, just to catch my breath. And I guess that's what today's lesson is. Remember to know when to take a moment. Just stop, catch your breath, and refocus. And you know what? I'm glad I come this way. Because all these purples and mauves of this, I was going to say lavender, I could be wrong. Looks stunning. So this is apparently Owler Tor, and I'll be honest, it wasn't the location I thought it was at the start of the walk. That's a lot more further that way. But this is Owler Tor, and to the untrained eye, such as myself, it just looks like a pile of rocks in the middle of some ferns. So I'm not entirely sure why it has any significance. Maybe you could comment below why. And it's not very accessible. Oh, God, Bennett. Yep. Yeah, it's just a load of rocks. Okay, now it makes sense. My audience survey map was a little bit off. This is Owler Tor. Still a big pile of rocks, but a bit more impressive. Ooh, a plaque. Owler Tor. This viewpoint and 25 acres around, forming part of the Longshore estate, are given to the memory of Richardson Evans, 1846 to 1928. One who greatly loved the beauty of this world and strove by thought and deed to preserve that beauty for others, that they may build from age to age and undefiled heritage. Huh. Maybe it's something to do with the name Richard. And it would be rude not to go to the top. So I thought that was Alfreton. Obviously I was wrong. So looks like I'm coming back here another day. Which should be interesting, because I like returning to places I've been to at least once. Because quite often the first time you come you miss loads. Anyway, time to go find Serenity. And if I'm not mistaken, behind that line of cars and beyond that field is where I parked Serenity. Doesn't look that far, but I've got a funny feeling it's further than it looks. Oh no, there's 2 ice cream vans. Not 1, but 2. That's got to be tempting fate, hasn't it? Do I want an ice cream? Of course, the ice cream vans are at the top of a steep hill, but will I get one? Of course I got an ice cream. I'm glad I did. There was a lovely little old gentleman in the van serving proper ice cream, not the Mr. Whippy stuff. Cash only though, so ring Cass. He says he's there pretty much every day, which is kind of cool. I'm guessing he's retired. Yeah, all he does is come to this location and get ice cream. I'm going to eat it quick, it's melting like hell, so bon appetit. I'm going to blame the sun frying my brain, but I've been walking alongside this stream for about 5 minutes with sticky hands, thinking, you know what, I really wish I had a wet wipe or a bathroom to wash my hands in. And I just looked and went, wait a minute, there's the stream, duh. I can't escape the cows. They're harmless, right? Although that one has just literally just took about 6 steps towards the path as I'm walking towards him. And I didn't see all them on that side. Oh. Oh no. That one was eyeballing me the whole way past. And that one had horns. But I made it. Someone just asked if I worked here. I was like, no. She goes, oh, you look like you work here. And I was like, I'm trying to be Indiana Jones. And she gave me like this weird look, and I was like, okay. I didn't land. But blessed shade. I love being in the shade. It's like something between being in the light and being in the dark. And I find that kind of poetic, I guess. Nearly there. And I'll be honest, this last bit's taking it out of me again. You'd think of all these walks and hikes I do that they'd get easier. Maybe it's just old age creeping up on me. Maybe I'm just generally unhealthy. But yeah, I've enjoyed this one. Scrambling through the gorge, getting the ice cream. So yeah, I'll see you back at Serenity. Wow, this was empty when I arrived. Of course, end of walk, I have to treat myself to a cream tea. Now the question is, which order does it go? Jam then cream or cream then jam? Comment below, start an argument. you might notice a slight costume change. That's because I'm on my way to the 80s video shop in Alfreton now to go meet Max Grebo, well, the puppeteer of Max Grebo, for the 80s video shop birthday shenanigans. Getting back to the walk, it took about 3 hours 40 minutes, and the whole route going from Longshore Estates car park to, what is it, Padley Gorge, then round to Altor and then back around again, was about 6 miles. It's getting a bit warm now, so I'm going to keep this short because I don't operate very well in heat. But yeah, I really enjoyed this walk. It was definitely something I needed this week to get out again. I think going forward I will try and alternate weeks of like big walks and little walks just to keep the momentum going. So yeah, be safe, be kind, and get outdoors.